So, good evening, folks, and welcome back to another Tales from the Past. It's probably 18th in this series of, for those of you who are not familiar with it, Tales from the Past is basically kind of a playlist slash series where I go through a random, let's say comic or manga or European comic from, previous times, like from the previous century, or maybe even before it if they exist. And sometimes I go to a more recent one, like with the previous Firestorm review, where I go through based through the comic and break everything. Who the team is, break and who the writers are, artists, synopsis, breakdown, and then I'll give my final verdict. This one is nothing different, because today we're going to review a little lesser known comic from the old Vertigo imprint. It's a kind of spin-off imprint by DC that for some reason got because the editor left somewhere around 2000 and they never kind of continued with these types of series, which is kind of unfortunate, because they were about to diversify the portfolio with something more than average superhero stories and cape shit. But unfortunately, it is the way it is. Sometimes things sell well and the end goes alright, and sometimes some editorial or creative differences create such a schism that the editor-in-chief leaves and the imprint collapses under the weight of its own weight. So that's basically it. But for those of you who are not familiar with it, how I break these videos down is I'll go first. I'll tell who the team is, the writer, the publisher. I kind of spoiled that already. This video will contain a lot of spoilers, so if you don't like what if you don't want to be spoiled or anything, if you didn't read it, you would click away right now. And it's contain it. There I go to the team, the writer, publisher, artist, cover artist, and after that we'll discuss the synopsis quickly. And after that we're going to do a quick breakdown of the pages of who the unknown soldier is, and we might be, we might not be, and basically the protagonist of the story, if you could call him that, and how his co-workers or family get caught in the crossfire, and how his and etc. But that's for the for the synopsis. And I'll also be using data this time from the Great Comic Book Database, or the Grand Comic Book Database, and mycomicbookshop.com that are two more or less reliable sources, because I couldn't find anything on the DC fandom site, and where you can basically check out when the comic was released, and in case of mycomicbookshop.com you could easily check out if the comic is still available in parts of the United States. I don't know if Canada has the same kind of system, I don't know. And basically check out in what kind of, if it's still available, if the series is still available, in what kind of condition it is, and whether it's worth reading, yes or no. It's up to you. So we're going straight into who the teams are, what the team is, the writer and the artist, etc. So so right here, the writer is Garth Ennis, and Kilian Plunkett is the artist. The colorist is James Sinclair, if I spell his name correctly. I have a little bit of an accent today. Digital Chameleon Separations, Eddie David, I probably butchered that name, my apologies in advance, the letterer, and Axel Alonso, who is a well-known editor, former editor-in-chief at DC Comics, for once. And here's a little ad from Sandman, the mystery novel. That was also released by the Vertigo imprint, and I have no idea whether it's good or not, but that's a story for another video. So what the synopsis is, I got my notes here, if you hear the paper rattle. That's because I made some notes to break down this whole series. It's basically about a maverick CIA agent called Clyde. His full name is William Clyde. That goes on the search for a guy with the codename Unknown Soldier, and things get worse once a certain Black Ops kills one of his associates, and that's about it. So without further ado, we're only 6 minutes in. Let's get into the story itself. So, one man in the right at the right time can make a difference, and win a war. And it really sets the stage for the story to come, and who they're looking for, and the mystery around who the unknown soldier is. Here rests in what's the ring note there? In honored glory. There it is. Honored glory, an American soldier, known only by God. So yeah. And here, basically the unknown soldier walking towards his called mausoleum, or his tomb. Nice decoration, nice detail, etc. And please, I need it to be true just one more time. I don't know why, but it gives some kind of Watchmen vibes. And wow, this is really, I like how it sets the stage. I can't deny that. It's something different. I like that. I was looking up at the sky. To be true just one last time, like he's desperately waiting for a prayer to be answered or something. It's very beautiful. And here is Juan Miguel Rojo and 3 bodyguards. RIP. So we're basically going to present day. No doubt about it. Nice work. There's one question still troubling us. Sergeant Morris report mentioned 2 witnesses to the shooting who you in fact allowed safe passage from the area. Any explanation for that, Agent Clyde? So you have this basically the protagonist of the story, who takes a job at this CIA, and the Invisibles. I don't know why, but this looks just terrible. I mean, look at the facial expression. I'm not going to judge a book by its cover, but I'll focus on the story first. But no, this is just not good. I'm not even going to read that. So here they go to basically going through some kind of operation, some kind of murders. First, the sanction took place under cover of darkness. Both myself and the Green Berets wore camouflage, cream. Positive, LD, on us outsiders, never mind Americans, was quite possible. And if they'd heard he speaking, we didn't. Second, and Sergeant Morris' report may well be short on detail here. Neither witness was over 10 years old. Oof. Nevertheless, Morris felt the risk of your team exposure warranted their termination. I disagreed, and the team agency liaison had authority on the ground. Agent Clyde, the parameters of your mission allowed for additional sanctions should secrecy be compromised. Respect, sir. My mission was to accompany special forces unit south of the border as discreetly as possible. Kill the brother of President Roberto Rojo. Can't work with the pronunciation. His people do not suspect our involvement, so he will not be forced into public confrontation with the U.S. privately. He now knows to heed our warnings about his family's narcotics trafficking. Friendly international relations may be maintained. I did my job with no more deaths than absolutely necessary. So I respectfully submit that in the future, if I'm to be required to murder children, such instructions should be specifically stated within each mission's parameters. And this is kind of where some more compass kicked in, because he was sent on a mission that resulted in apparently to track down a narco drug smugglers, gangsters, but turned out they also use, which is unfortunately not just the case in organized crime, but also in wars, especially with Islamic State, etc. They kind of use children because they're easy to brainwash and they're easily cannon fodder. So that's basically it. And here's where Clyde kind of disagrees with superiors, and rightfully so, because you don't kill children. Thank you, Agent Clyde. That will be all. And the boss doesn't like it. Calls him a Boy Scout, pathetic, etc. What are we doing with someone like him in the field? Jesus. I'm not going to I'm not going to skip to the other part. It's not because I'm religious. I'm not. I'm just not that fond of cursing. I don't know why. It's just unless it fits the fits the story it's pacing, and if it's this 18 plus, so it doesn't matter. Who cares? I'm not that into cursing used in my writing either. I would use internet speech like normies, etc. After that, back to the story. And he tells me that not what you expect to find in age these days. You see, most of the kids we've got now, they frame their mothers for espionage the second the orders were out. True, or cut. Lights can't the exception to the, and that's kind of true. It proves that the rule ex-Green Barrett himself wound in the Gulf. He's damn good, but he's not cut for Black Ops stuff. Never will be. It's a shame, but I think he's gotten about as far as he's likely to do in the company. Useful for stuff like this, though, indeed. So basically, yeah, they're thinking of giving him some higher Black Ops job, but. And yeah, they're basically his superiors are like finish the job by any means necessary, but Clyde has a moral compass, and that kind of holds him back from getting higher into the Secret Service like the CIA. Yeah, give him a real dull one, and he'll learn to keep his mouth shut. And some people in the CIA are definitely crooked. Hell, if it Rojo was just a freebie, we owned the DEA anyway. Let's say we go eat, and yeah, they're going for dinner. And yeah, Clyde here's back at the workplace. Clyde is kind of working on his stuff, on his work. And yeah, he was planning to go to the party, and they are kind of discussing talking behind his back. Ah, Wallace, so it ain't so. The party isn't a party without Clydemeister. His crazy antics, like staying up after 9:30, standing for our national anthem, saluting the flag, occasionally saying hell, but never F. Or simply his mom's apple pie. As a matter of fact, I still have my mom's apple pie. I keep it on the shelf next to John Wayne's hat and one of Babe's Roof's ball. So, FBI, can I speak to Agent Neon, please? And yeah, basically back to work, as he's just gonna stay at home and safeguard democracy as usual. So you gotta find it first, indeed. Peter, this is William Clyde over at Lansley. Who's Joshua Markowicz? So we're going to let's go through a list of people. As you can see here, I haven't the slightest idea. So yeah, basically Joshua A. Markowicz, guy in Napoli. Go to the entire list. It's been sent on this computers. And I didn't, William, what are you talking about? It's the list names sent over according to California First Investigation. I finished checking out the last one this morning. No results. As with the others, I got back to my office. He's basically doing some work stuff. And yeah, there are no links between them and any, you know what army is. They're pricks who don't like paying taxes. It's all some a-hole in your intelligence section probably. Thought this wanted to justify his overtime. Markowicz is as big as that and as all the others. Maybe. William Clyde doesn't trust it, and he goes to check out the list, and it's been sent to him what's on his computer, and go on the hunt for the unknown soldier. Central Intelligence Agency. This is a retirement home. He goes straight. First leads to the retirement home. The real thing. What is it with old Josh anyway? Pardon me. This is the second visit he's had from you guys in a year. He wasn't on the grass, no, or anything. Like, that was. Are you sure about this, doctor? Yeah. The doctor basically tells me, you don't forget when the CIA walk into your retirement home, Agent Clyde, come with me. And he takes him with, the doctor takes him with him to Joshua, first name on kind of one at the bottom of the list, Joshua, I know if it's Markowicz. It's kind of, has some Eastern European in him. Or maybe Slavic or something. Probably Polish, and I had to take a sip of water. Does he get many visitors? His son in months with a Q in the name. Do you smoke or drink, Agent Clyde? No. Start. You don't want to end up in a place like this. Ouch. I don't know I live in a European country, but I could imagine that people in the United States or in any part of the world where healthcare is not always, the best, or where places are not always Candyland, are, will probably tell you this. I try and play pool with a goddamn length of rope. Mr. Markovich, and Clyde introduced himself, and anything for a start, sure, wouldn't mind some Quim. Actually, I meant like a glass of water. Nope, just Quim. Mr. Markovich, what do you know about an organization called California First? Never heard of them. Listen, ain't here for the same thing your pal was. I mean, the agent who visited you previously? No, I wasn't even aware of it until the doctor told me. Just as a matter of interest, would you mind telling me what it was he spoke to you about? Why, we talked about the soldier. And there we go. We're gonna skip to the ad. Well, an old boot or anything. An old PlayStation game from back in the day. Soldier, sure. Mr. Markovich, I don't want to get too far off the subject about California First. I still drawing blanks on. Well, there's West Coast anti-government movement with tenuous links to similar groups in the Midwest. Thing is, your name came up in relation to theirs. I got no idea why. He has no idea. Markovich has no idea why, but he keeps asking like a good CIA agent. He keeps Clyde or William Clyde keeps asking questions about things. Tomorrow I'll probably forget to pull my pants down before I take a you know what, but right now I'm still got my marbles. For instance, I'm wondering why your boss are worrying about anti-government stuff, seeing as that's a federal matter. Quite right, well, we have heard rumors that California First may be dealing with an Eastern European arms ring, as I expected, cooperating with the FBI in this case. That's damp as I look, huh? Well, I don't know how I got connected to these sea suckers in the first place. And a bunch of arm dealers. Last time I even held, you know what gun was the day I saw the soldier. And no matter how bad I get, that day's gonna stay with me forever. So he keeps telling about. Here we go into. Here's the black op who's trying to kill, who's going after Clyde and looking at some potential targets from what it seems, and she board and this black op is it's a woman from what I see. It's kind of hard to tell at times. Scribble, yep, Joshua Markovich again. I thought you had Alzheimer's. That's not enough anymore. Someone else is asking the questions. We're no longer prepared to take the risk after the last time. Never knew what the whole thing was Anderson turned out. And they're basically talking, basically, And she tells him to shoot his loose what tells her her contactor tells her to basically finish the guy off. I was 18 when I went into Dachau. Guess you've seen on TV what went on in this place, or maybe you read about it, so I hope you ain't going to mind if I don't go into detail. Mr. Markovich, I'm sorry, it's not even any of my business. I shouldn't have asked. No, it's okay. And he tells him that Joshua, wait, Joshua, William, okay, William. And he keeps, here's another ad, we don't have to worry about it. And here it goes back to his time in Dachau when they liberated this concentration camp. So he's going to, here are and he goes straight to they're driving with their jeep straight into the camp, to the prisoners of war. You could tell he was a soldier, even without the fatigues. It was the way he held himself, the way he moved, just like he knew. Just like I knew with you, William. Once you've been a soldier, there's no disguising it. Am I right? Yes. The way he looked, he was so odd, so alien, even in that terrible place. He stood out a mile. I got the feeling there was nowhere a guy like that would fit in. And here you go to, the Unknown Soldier. It's true. It's absolutely true. Have you taken the prisoners, Corporal? Speak up. Discard, sir. All pretty exhausted and they don't put up a fight. No coming here was a bad idea. Unless you didn't try and stop him. This is what we have been fighting for all this time. They were doing it and I did not suspect. Look at it. And And he tells me that look at what the enemy has done, and here see the dead bodies of all the Jewish people that have been and war prisoners that have been killed, either through slave work or to the gas chambers or exhaustion or malnutrition. We just guard. Oh shit! And but that's not enough for the unknown soldier, and he opens fire on all of them, and basically causes a bloodbath. Blood calls for blood in this case, and his people are telling him to stop. And yeah, he keeps on shooting. So the whole world, and they keep them begging to stop, because if this gets out into the world, it could harm the reputation of the United States, and the soldiers out there will shoot. No, this is what our enemies do. This is what America must fight. So be it. And we are always right, and then they go into it, and until one guy basically knocks him unconscious. Always right. And is the other soldiers looking at it, and yeah, they could only tell him what. Holy smoke! So I put him back in that jeep. I got out there pronto, but not before ordering us to bury the crowds and forget the whole thing ever happened. And after that, I never saw the soldier again. That's what story Joshua and Markowitz, and that's why I met the other agent was asking you about. Do you happen to remember his name? No. He came here about some other thing too. Just we got talking about the army. So he was an ex-service guy, just like you. If I can remember his name, though, maybe something like Anderson or Andrews. Do you remember he'd been in the army? 101st Airborne. Told you can't disguise it. I can always tell a soldier. So he's going back to Codename Unknown Soldier. He's going to and Wallace tells Clyde that President called that don't personally step in and mediate with the Yeltsin. The birds are going to be in the air. With that he means Boris Yeltsin was an ex-president of the Russian Federation after the fall of the Soviet Union, and he was quite an alcoholic as well. Long story short. Soon anyway, I'm not sure I was satisfying my curiosity really. Excuse me, and he goes back to his computer, but someone calls him up, and probably spare it, then stop it and get back to work. Your wrist slapped, and then some. So he tells him that Wallace, and talks to Wallace, and then she tells him that she wants him to come, and inviting me over for a cup of coffee. And turns out Joshua Markowitz has been burned to death in his private room at the retirement home. And here's Screwball waiting for a chance to open fire, and she doesn't miss her target. But it was not the target she had in mind. And that's how it ends. Wow. I'm just going to show this gunshot because, wow. Holy smoke. That's about it. So, long story short, plus and minus. I said the art might not be the same point on the cover, but tells you what the story is, gives you a bit an idea of the story is about. And there's a good balance between writing and art. There's some panels there of lesser quality, but overall, the art is not necessarily the same point it is. What matters is the story, and the story is really good. It's wrapping up it's a solid first issue in a 4-issue miniseries where they are looking at tracing back the identity of the unknown soldier, and the unknown soldier has plans for him in mind as well. Spoiler alert for the rest. So without further ado, this one gets a 78 out of 100. So very good. And I see you guys in the next one. Matane.